Hi! Today I would like to show you a great example of how our foundation redefines the classical concert experience. I will tell you more about our flagship project, Klasyka na koszykach, Classics at Koszyki, that breaks the spell around classical music. But let's start with the topic that is always crucial, which is audience development. Building relationships with the audience is one of the key issues that will determine the success of a project. The classical music industry has been grappling with the same problem for decades. How to attract new audiences? Endless research and countless initiatives have been started to try to understand why younger generations do not seem to be as interested in classical music as their parents or grandparents are. The classical music industry is quite stuck in the past, focusing on tradition and history instead of looking forward. While tradition is, of course, an important aspect of classical music, it should not be the sole focus. The industry needs to start thinking about how classical music can be relevant to people's lives today. The pandemic has also had a huge impact on the audience. The expert of audience development, Aubrey Bergauer, shared her view of the situation. Audience is not returned to pre-pandemic levels. The latest statistics in the US say that only 65 to 70% of the audience who attended classical music concerts before the pandemic have returned. Even before the pandemic, there was a decrease in audience numbers, and the pandemic only deepened this phenomenon. However, it was predicted that 56% of the audience would return, and 65 to 70% did. So it's not all bad news. You might think we need to focus on getting that audience back, but that's not the point. The focus should be on gaining a new audience. Another challenge facing the classical music industry is that 90% of the audience going to a concert for the first time in their lives do not return to classical music concerts. That means that only 1 in 10 first-time audience members decide to go to another concert. These statistics mean we need to start thinking about classical music differently. We should consider classical music as a service industry, not just an art form. Classical music is not just for the elite. It's for everyone, and it's up to us to make sure that that message is heard. We need to be more innovative and creative in the way we present classical music. It's not enough to just play the music. We need to create experiences that people will remember. We need to start focusing on building relationships with our audience, rather than just selling them tickets. Let's look at our flagship project as an example of how to address some of the conclusions drawn from the research. Klasyka na koszykach, Classics at Koszyki, is the first regular series of free classical music concerts in a commercial space that has been held continuously since 2017. So far, more than 200 events have been held for over 200,000 spectators. The project was not even stopped by the pandemic. We continued to hold concerts during the lockdown in an online format. This project pursues our statutory goals. First one, bringing the world of classical music closer to listeners and going beyond the usual patterns and stereotypes related to performing classical music only in concert halls. Whether music experts, parents with children, seniors from nearby houses, people in wheelchairs, friends and family of artists, or just random passers-by, everyone, regardless of age, has the opportunity to attend this concert series. This project proves that classical music can accompany anyone in any situation. Coming into close contact with live music in such an everyday place convinces the audience that this seemingly difficult type of music is absolutely for everyone. At the moment, the footfall data in Hala Koszyki, which is based on external monitoring research analysis, shows an increase from 6,000 to up to 10,000 visitors on Sundays when the classics concerts are happening. The peak number of people in Hala Koszyki is generally between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. That is the time of the concerts. Our pandemic concerts were watched by more than 300,000 people, and the series has won many awards. Despite this big success, it is continuous work to keep building relationships with the artists and the venue's management team, and we also constantly promote the series to attract and increase the numbers of audience members. So, what is our secret? We put extra care into building the relationship with our regular audience every week. We also maintain the constant presence of the project in social media to inform and remind the audience every week that the concerts are happening. We always speak about the project to people that we meet. This is known as word-of-mouth marketing. So, without a doubt, Classics at Koszyki, with its focus on accessibility, openness, and innovative approach to culture, has united the young Polish musical community and taken classical music beyond concert halls.